go. So I've taken some of our multi-purpose cardstock. You'll find that on Shop the Day, Shop the Show, or just on our website in general. And we're going to use both the dies here. So what we've got, if you didn't see Wake Up Call earlier on, you have got those two separate dies there that create a lovely aperture. Now you've got the detail die, you've got your inner outline die, or the inner die, so that it cuts out. However, the outside of the die, that has no outside cutting edge, so that's going to stay within the card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to position them. You can draw some pencil lines as a bit of a guide, use your ruler, use your glass mat if you want, that's up to you. But when it comes to right at the edge of the die, on the inner die, your die cut line ends right at the very end. So that means that you could be confident in knowing that if you pop the two edges of the dies right up against each other, that's going to create a removable aperture.
Okay, cool.
But what you can do is you can separate them. So you can separate them, and then once cut, all you need to do is then use your scissors or your craft knife, just snip them away, and then that gives you more of an open aperture. Of course, the longer the cardstock, of course, but the more that you start to widen them, that bigger the space. So if you've got a lovely big sentiment, maybe you've got the big words that we've got coming up in cartloads, you know, like family and home and love. You know, that could be in the middle, and that could be finishing off the edges at the side there. So this is where you've got another way in which you can use them if you so wish. But all that I'm going to do is I'm going to position them, and with this one I am going to leave that aperture in. So I'm going to go in with the Dragonfly edge first, and I'm going to position, I'm leaving a couple of millimeters at the side here, and let's have a look, get it relatively straight. As I say, if you're wanting to then use a pencil and a ruler, you can do. What I'm kind of doing is if I take, let's just take my ruler so that you can get a visual idea as to what I'm following. If I then show you what I'm kind of doing is this line all the way down my glass mat, I'm kind of matching up so that my top die is within that line and my bottom edge die is at that same line that continues down. So that's just kind of keeping it straight. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly the same on this side here. So I'm going to get that into position, also leaving a couple of mils at the opposite edge, and then getting it into position so that I can tape it down, run it through my Gemini, and then that means that we're going to get that lovely aperture within the middle. We're going to get the die cut aperture of the detail, and as it's a wafer thin die, it's the exact same plate combination as you would do with any of your other die cuts.
Amazing. Margaret Frasina says, does CC have a statement Dragonfly die set? If not, please, 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 please. Well, you're in luck. I believe it's Monday, isn't it? The brand new, is it Nature's Garden or Sarah Signature? Sarah Signature, brand new Dragonfly themed collection is launching here. And I know that's got some incredible dies in it. Have you managed to get your crafty paws on it yet, Craig?
Not my own collection. If you've seen me on the HSN preview Facebook Live on Monday, you'll have seen I kind of featured it on there. So I have had my hands on it, just not got my own set just yet. It is beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I believe it's Debbie Fisher and Ben launching that on Monday. So you'll want to tune in at this time on Monday, or for, of course, the Wake Up Call as well.
Absolutely. And can I just say, if you thought the hummingbird flew out, no pun intended, wait until you see this if you've not seen it yet.
It is amazing.
It's beautiful. And actually, it would work and complement the hummingbird collection as well if you want. Right, so now that I've die cut that, what I would suggest when it comes to these ones here is if you're using the both dies together, run them through with your embossing mat. It gives it a really nice finished edge. And by popping it through, as I say, it's then just going to push. If you're new to die cutting, if you're new to us, then all that does is that then just enables any of that detail just to push into your cardstock, so you get more of a 3D effect. But then also what it does is it finishes off the edges, the die cut edges, and makes them a little bit more round and refined. So all that I need to do now is take this die off, and I'm being careful because even though it's a low tack tape, the pressure of the Gemini can take a couple of layers of fibre off your card. Usually that wouldn't matter if this middle aperture is coming out, but because I'm keeping it in play, I want to keep it where it is. I'm just being careful that I don't take any of the fibres off. And then all that I need to do is if I go in with my die tool, and what's really, really lovely with these ones, yes, they are the creator card. You'll see that on the packaging themselves, they're also named as the mix and match because you can literally mix and match them. But what you've still got is the intricacy. You've still got that liftable factor, whereas as we can see within the Dragonflies, you can then lift the wings up. So you can still get that really lovely depth without actually using your glue gel or your foam pads, which of course is nigh all impossible when it comes to me. But if you don't want to have that extra depth, you don't have to. You're still going to create a really, really lovely feature just by lifting the wings up. So all that I'm doing is I'm going around and popping these little bits out. Once we've then popped them out, if you were to expand the length of the die cuts, you would then at this point take your craft knife or ruler and you would snip away. So where my thumbs are,
okay.
You would snip away. That's how you're going to make it longer. But I actually like the look of leaving it in play because you've got the wings that you can lift up. There's a little notch that's holding the wings in. I like to snip that. It's not going to break up the die cut piece in any way, but what it's doing is just enabling you to lift the wings that little bit further. So I'm going to pop that one out. Same with these wings here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm then going to snip that wing as well, and then that means we can lift that one up. And then what we can then do in a moment, we are going to back that onto a piece of our royal blue glitter card. But see how lovely that blue stands out, whether it's a texture or a Centura pearl or that glitter. But then what you've also got within the set as well, Joe, is you've got this little individual dragonfly. So I am going to cut that, but what I'm also going to do is I want to have a couple of matching dragonflies here. So all that I can do is I can go in with that same die. Doesn't matter if your die fills the cardstock, because all that I want is the two dragonflies. I'm going to pop that one on as well to die cut. So this is where we're going to then create even more depth by snipping out the dragonflies and layering them back in place so that we can get more of a 3D dimensional dragonfly when it comes to the wings.
Awesome. Mary Pat says, I am loving these dragonflies. They are brilliant. Most people, Craig, I think quite unsurprisingly, going for that full collection. 38, 39, 49, 56 as a platinum member. Under £40 or $50 as a platinum member, I think is brilliant for 6 creator cards, Craig,
yeah.
You know, generally. But when you look at the sort of versatility that these offer you, I think the values are awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They're so good. And as we've done there, okay, I've used both the dies for the Dragonfly, but if you made 2 separate cards, one with both the outline dies and one with, let's just say, just the Dragonfly die on each side, you wouldn't necessarily think they're all from that one range. You can make them look completely different if you want to as well. And I think that's what's kind of unique about them too, is being able to create that card, that project, home decor, whereas they can look as though they are from 2 completely different collections, and yet they're actually from the same.
Absolutely. Very, very busy, which is excellent. Can't wait to see all the different ways in which you guys start creating your different projects with this. Yeah. 20% of our launch stock has gone just in the 1 hour preview that we brought to you during Wake Up Call, which is a lot, especially when you consider how many people have got these in their basket at the moment over on the website too. It is really, really busy on these. We've had an exceptionally busy week. We have got a lot of amazing launches at the moment. Now, don't you think, Craig? We've had like huge launch after huge launch the last sort of week or so.
We have, haven't we? A lot of really, really good ones. But notice as well, if you were to properly look back on what you've ordered from all our launches, or you just get all your goodies out if you've got them, and see how well they all mix together and they match together. Whether you're bringing in this die set in with the Gildan Flakes, or you're bringing in any of the previous launches from before the Gildan Flakes, it's all going to work together. Use them separate, but they will complement each other. And that's what I think is just fab about so many of our collections at Crafter's Companion.
Absolutely, very, very busy. Any questions you've got? Any ideas as well, maybe, Craig, that viewers have got
Go
for
for
using
it.
these that we haven't thought of? I think that's a brilliant thing, isn't it, about a collection like this? Sort of, the more you use it, the more ideas you'll get. But maybe you've got a brainwave about how you want to use it. Let us know in the comments. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you are across over on YouTube. You do love a fussy cut, don't you, Craig?
I do indeed love to do my fussy cutting. And that's all that I am doing here. It's pretty much just fussy cutting. So I'm following the line around the wings so that we can create that separate element. So all that I need to do is go in and pop all these little bits out. So I'm not going to pop them all out because I've got one here, but what I wanted to do is just show you how simple they are to fussy cut. So if I do a couple more here, let's do that one as well. Work your way around, pop them all out, so you can see all die cut, and then this will then give us our separate large dragonfly.
Perfect.
And then the same with the smaller one. So you're just going to work your way around, snip away at the little tabs that are holding in the wings, and then all that I'm doing is I'm following around the base of the dragonfly. Once again, following it around. You don't have to be overly neat. You know, it doesn't need to be a straight line. You've got that flexibility in having that little bit of wiggle all the way around. So if you're not straight at cutting, this is very, very forgiving with the dragonflies. As you can see, once again, all die cut, which then will give you this effect here.
Gorgeous.
So with the dragonflies that you cut from the actual die, what you've then got is lots of die cut detail. From the dragonfly that you cut from that separate die, what you then get is a similar dragonfly, but it's a solid body. So you've got that solid body there. So what I've done is I've already cut 2 of that solid dragonfly. And let's take all these bits, move them to the side and use them again. And now I'm going to come in, I'm going to start to layer this one up. And because I'm using my glitter card, Joe, I'm going to go in with my tacky glue. We all know that I love my dry adhesives, my double-sided tape, but on your shedless glitter card, it can have a tendency of falling off. Maybe not straight away, but maybe if it's been sitting and it's on the top of a fireplace or mantelpiece, it can drop off.
I love this blue you've used as well. It's such a really amazing sort of deep royal blue, isn't it?
It is, yeah, well, it is actually royal blue, and it's part of our shedless glitter card range. So you will find it on the website, and it complements our royal blue Centura pearl as well. So yeah, it's a really, really lovely blue. Just as you said, it's really quite powerful, and it works an absolute treat. And going by the red, white and blue theme, which of course I done it more in a Jubilee sort of feel, but nothing stopping you from following this concept for 4th of July. And
oh, great idea.
Make it a 4th of July card, or all you need to do is change the age if it's going to be for a birthday card. You'll see that the die set I used was the statement dies, but you can pop any age that you like. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm not going to pop glue onto the wings. I am going to pop the glue onto the body of the dragonfly because I want that to stay in place. Same with this body here. And then what we can do is mat and layer it. So for anyone that wants to know, 5 1/4 by 5 1/4, and you know what I'm away to say, all my mats and layers are at 1/4 of an inch increments. So all that I'm going to do is line that one up, get it into position, and I'm going to make sure I press in because I'm wanting to keep that aperture die in. Let's just move in that body. So let's just press that body in. And then while I'm doing this bit, Joe, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the dragonfly. So the large one, same as before, I'm going to pop my tacky glue onto the body, and that's it, not the wings, because I'm wanting extra depth. And they remind me as like skeleton dragonflies, having that die cut feature. You know, that design, it's more of a skeleton feel. So come in with maybe your vellums. We've got vellum on the show as well.
Yes, we do. I'm going to share that with you shortly, actually.
Yeah. So start to back them on those. We'll be using it within a couple of the demos as well. We used it within Wake Up Call too. So start to do little bits of fussy cutting with that if you want. But let's take this one as well. I've just done the 2 dragonflies, so the base dragonfly and then one that's going to go on top. And the one that we've cut, that's the solid dragonfly, that's going to go on top of our numbers. But let's press that one in. Let's lift up the wings here and then here. And really, really simply, that could go onto a 6x6 card blank. Happy birthday, maybe a sentiment is, you know, for another occasion. That's up to you. That could be any other card, or snip out that aperture bit. Remember though, if you use these dies together, you're not going to have to do any snipping. That whole aperture is going to come out on its own. And then let's go in with our mats and layers. So my green one is green one? It's a funny looking green.
It's a strange green, isn't it?
Totally changed green. What colour do you see on your screen? It's definitely red. So that one is 6 by 6.
I'm at the opticians.
So this one isn't a 1/4 of an inch at an increment. This is 1/2 inch increment. And I have popped my double-sided tape going onto my glitter card, so I'm also going to pop a layer of my tacky glue all the way around. But yes, I can assure you that's definitely not green. It's like that social media post that was going around the other year, the dress.
Oh, the dress. Gosh, that drove me insane.
It's the amount of arguments you were starting to see on Facebook, people in the comments.
A dress. Who cares what colour the dress is?
White or gold.
Was it black and gold or... I can't even remember. I'm having a bit of PTSD just thinking about it, to be honest.
Yeah. People were having full-on arguments in the comments, saying, no, it's this colour. And they were saying, no, it's not, it's another colour. But yeah.
Friends that argue about football make me feel exactly the same.
What was that?
Friends that argue about football. You know, they support rival football clubs
Oh,
and
yeah.
always having a dig at each other.
Yeah, you don't get that worry from me. I'll just argue about wrestling.
Sorry, just wrestling, that's fine.
It's wrestling.
Yeah, I'm all right with that. Wrestling, Eurovision, musical theatre, share Celine. I'm good.
See, she's postponed our concert again.
Oh, Craig, I know.
Celine.
Yeah, to 2023 now. They were meant to take place in 2020, were they?
Yeah.
They were meant to take place
Johnny,
in, was it
going to
originally spring 2020 it was going to take place? Or was it September 2020?
Yes.
September 2020. Then it got postponed to 2021.
Yep.
Spring 2021. Then it got postponed to spring 2022. And less than 4 weeks out, wasn't it?
Yes.
I think it was about 3 or 4 weeks before the start of the tour. She just postponed it again.
9th of June I was meant to see her in Glasgow.
Yeah, I was at see her on the 29th of May, which I think was actually the first leg of the European tour.
Yeah.
So she's had to cancel. Again, she's not very well, bless her.
Well.
If you're watching, Celine, we send you all our love.
Yeah. She's really not well.
Celine Dion.
Me and my friend were working out. By the time we actually do see her, that will have been 4 years since we bought the tickets.
It's bonkers, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just the way of the world, though.
It is, isn't it?
So I know they had to cancel it, didn't they, because of the pandemic.
Twice,
and again
yeah.
because of the pandemic, and then because of her health, and now because of her health this
Because
time.
of her health, which, to be fair, she really isn't or hasn't.
She didn't
been
look
well.
great, did she?
She didn't, no.
Let's hope she's on the mend. I think she is
in her
53, 54, maybe, something like that, I would say.
yeah.
Let's Google it, Craig.
Let's have a look at
I mean, we should really know, as, you know, true fans.
We sure do.
Oh, my word. Craig, have you heard this story that was in the news about...
No, I didn't read the story.
Did you not?
But I heard
So it was in the
something.
Newcastle Chronicle. She's 54, Celine. I think that's what I said, wasn't
54.
it? So she was... This couple went to see the Cher show, which is
Yeah.
a musical about the life of Cher in Sunderland, and then walked out because it wasn't actually a Cher concert with the real Cher. They thought
Oh
they were
my
going to see
gosh.
actual Cher in Sunderland at the Sunderland Empire. Can you imagine? they complained and left.
Because it wasn't actually her.
Yeah.
Oh my god, jeezy peeps. Can you imagine that? Turning up and it's not who you thought, or it wasn't the real person.
Sandra says, okay, Joe, I have mental images combining the Dragonfly with the liftables and extending the frame around the two sides of a light box. Do that twice, use the coloured gilding flakes and foils or glitter.
Wow.
What a great project that's going to be.
Wow, wow, wow. Absolutely. Isn't that going to be phenomenal if you do that? Now
Really
it just goes to show it's carrying on the ideas and the concept further in with what you've already got at home. And that's the thing, you can be doing that one. And that's it, lots and lots of different ways. But there we go, finishing off now. So I've popped them onto my layers, used my 7 and my 0 from my statement dies, statement number dies. And that was the same. The detail I done, by the way, the detail that I cut on that layer is our Christmas red Centura Pearl. And then that is it.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. We're only like 4 weeks out now from the Jubilee, aren't we?